Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here. And before we get started, please remember to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you're the first to know of all new content as it's posted. Jumping into this one, it seems we now have more evidence that Robert Mueller tracked people's cell phones. And to be honest, I've known this was possible for a long time. I graduated college almost 10 years ago. I actually returned to college 14 years ago. Yeah, 2005. And during my time at community college, I actually worked for a cellular phone provider. We have, since way back then, been able to ping a cell phone. And a large percent of the time it's used for benign purposes. You know, parents give their children a very simple cell phone that they can just dial home from. But we can also use that to track a child. That requires explicit permission from the account owner to do so, or it requires a warrant from law enforcement granted by a judge. If you look at this, though, it shows that Robert Mueller says he was able to pinpoint security company executive Eric Prince's precise location for several hours in January of 2017 by matching his mobile phone signal to a cell site near Trump Tower in New York City. First thing, January 2017. This is after the election. This is President-elect Donald Trump. This is something that a lot of news stories leave out. They want to scream that Donald Trump met with a Russian official, but they won't tell you that it was in December of 2016 after he was President-elect Donald Trump. And the transition team does have legal authority to meet with foreign leaders to discuss foreign policy. It's just that simple. Remember, in 2012, Barack Obama famously telling Dmitry Medvedev after the election, "I'll have more flexibility." And that was before Election Day in 2012. But no one cares about that. No one cares that we have someone actually telling a foreign official, a Russian official, well, I know I'm going to win. And that amount of confidence says there's something going on. Now, yes, I'll admit that the 2012 election did not put the best candidate forward for the GOP, but it's basically the same thing. You see, you have Barack Obama prior to 2012's election day telling a Russian official that he will have more flexibility. But then in 2017 and late 2016, President-elect Donald Trump is expected to not speak to anyone. For crying out loud, we actually have people claiming that there was Russian collusion after his inauguration. Although those people are typically relegated to their own Twitter feeds and their dozens of followers. But the fact that Mueller could pinpoint Prince's exact whereabouts more than suggests, to me it proves he's using GPS readouts. Now, we go on to go further into this, and we see that supposed trips to Prague. But then we say that never happened. The more we hear from all sides of this issue, the more I feel that this was nothing but a witch hunt meant to either prevent the inauguration of a duly elected president or unseat him so that Democrats could seize power. Anyone saying that, well, if Mueller found that Trump was responsible, he'd remove Trump and then that'd be it. No, they'd go after Pence immediately. They wouldn't be satisfied with just Donald Trump. They would go after Pence and anyone else they had to. You see, in 2017, they'd have had to go further and further to get to a Democrat in the line of succession. Not too far, but still further. After 2018's election, well, it was pretty simple. All they had to do was get Trump and Pence, and we'd have President Mumbles Nutty Nancy Pelosi and her thousands of dollars of booze on every flight. If this doesn't worry you, then you're not paying attention. Yes, I know that I carry a cell phone. I know because I've worked for the companies that provide them in the service that it can be tracked. For crying out loud, there are apps that you can download for free that will use your location to allow family members to know where you are. Or this could be used by a business for their business cell phones to know where your contractors are. There's the joke that in the 1950s, we had people worrying about being tapped and being spied on. And in the 2000s, we invite that into our home. I was given an Amazon Echo Dot a couple of years ago as a gift. It sits unplugged in my closet. I know they listen. There's no way to stop it. If you want to see examples of this, just look at your ads. You're talking about something. You're not touching your phone. You're in your car driving somewhere and you're talking about something. And in the course of that conversation, you mention wanting to get pizza. A lot of times people have reported that as soon as they pick up their phone and they go to Twitter or Facebook or whatever, ads for pizza. It's very dangerous. This is a dangerous thing to have happening because we have Robert Mueller, who was supposedly there to investigate Russian collusion, yet everyone charged by his investigation was for things so far in the past that they had no connection, no matter how remote, to the Trump campaign from 2016. And we have them using things like GPS tracking and the other methods under the FISA warrant to do whatever the hell they wanted to find a crime. And that's not how a free society works. Ideally, Mueller would have to go before a judge for every single thing he wants. He wants GPS track on somebody, it's every single person. I need to GPS track this person. Why? Prove it. Okay, well now I need this person. Why? Prove it. Every single person that he wants to GPS track should require a judge. And that judge should be the only one to grant the authority. But we know that the FISA warrant, which grants a wider berth on what can be done, was granted based solely on the Steele dossier, which was and is still widely unverified. This was nothing but a witch hunt. This was nothing but we want Trump impeached. Give us a way to do it. And 2 years and $35 million later, we have Robert Mueller issue his report that says there was no collusion. There is no evidence of obstruction. He later gives a public statement where he says, well, there's no evidence that he did this, but there's no evidence that he didn't. So he's really not guilty. And he ultimately came back and retracted that because apparently someone around him was smart enough to say, dude, no. And yet we still have liberals in the government and not screaming that the report is just one big sign that says he's guilty, impeach. And nothing could be further from the truth. You want guilt, you go to Robert Mueller's team, GPS tracking people. You go to how they got text messages, how they know exactly when and where things were planned. What this article rightly points out is when you're under an investigation and you're brought into law enforcement to testify, to be deposed, the first thing they want, your phone. Now, they cannot force me to put my thumb on that pad to unlock my phone. The only way they can do that is to grab my hand and push for me, which is illegal. I'm not required to unlock my phone, but I can tell you, working in the computer industry as I do, and as I did for that company back years ago, that little port with the right PC and the right person operating it, they don't need my thumb. They don't even need me in the room. They can break into your phone and they can then do whatever they want. And if that doesn't scare you, you're not paying attention. I don't know what else to say on it. We have an unelected bureaucrat whose remit for their office was find a crime. Mueller has been reported as a man who said, "Show me the man and I'll show you the crime." It's not the way things work. Show me the crime and then find who did it. Don't find the person and make the crime fit. And that's exactly what we've had going on since before Trump's inauguration. And I don't see it stopping anytime soon unless the people who did it are held accountable. But I've talked long enough. Let me know what you think. As always, keep it civil. We don't learn from argument, only from debate. Again, please like and share the video to widen the conversation. And again, please remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.